Some of those people who have walked away from you have said that they have done so because they became extremely distressed about what you call your special work.
You didn't agree to that. We end the meeting right now. You wouldn't understand that, Alan.
Brother Julius was willing to talk about why he's sitting in judgment against the sins of all mankind, but he's not willing to discuss what ex-followers believe are his own.
You will never understand me. Why should I discuss things to you and have your viewers mock me deliberately when there's no consent to that? Truth is truth. We go that far.
I'm trying to understand.
I can't expect you to understand what ex-followers in their hatred have either accused me of or factually distorted from my truth and my work.
Why would they accuse you, though?
You ask them.
Well, Brother Matthias told me I would come across these people, and so I looked for articles and found lawsuits filed by, I believe, Brother Matthias's daughter or stepdaughter, alleging you of those things.
I have nothing else to say, Alan.
I'm just trying to understand.
I will not discuss it. I'm not a guru. I don't talk about junk and gossip. Truth, Alan.
Brother Julius, I don't want you to walk away like this. I just want to try.
I don't want to be on your camera. Get your camera off of me, or I'll break it with power.
With that, Brother Julius and his entourage turned to leave.
Could you explain to us why people, your daughter, your most loyal follower's daughter would accuse you of Skype?
Get that away. I don't want it.
We just want to understand there, Brother Julius. I mean, some of these people are your most loyal followers. Why would you turn away? Is there anything you could say to this?
Julius, his chief apostle Paul Sweetman, and a young follower named Simon got into their car and left.
My name is Henry Robidas. I've been in the group for 13 years.
Henry Robidas was a follower of Brother Julius up until 6 months ago, when he confronted Shacknow with charges that other followers were molesting children in the group.
He made himself the issue as to whether or not he was God, and then asked me if I would be a whoremonger, if I would be an adulterer, if I would be a sodomite, or even be a pedophile if he asked me to. He claims that God wanted him to molest his own children. As far as I know, he had been doing that for approximately 30 years to children.
Child sexual abuse is one of the worst crimes that can be committed. It's an insidious crime.
John Massimino is chief of the child abuse team at the Hartford State's Attorney's Office. He will not discuss Brother Julius or any specific case, but he does say,
We generally will pursue our investigation, or police will pursue an investigation to try to get to the bottom of any evidence of abuse.
If John Massimino wants specific allegations of child abuse within Brother Julius's group, he should talk to Henry Robidas.
A man by the name of had sexually molested a 5-year-old girl.
Did you have personal knowledge that this molestation, this pedophilia, actually took place?
Yes, I do. I know the person who was doing daycare for the child, and the child was a good friend of my children. It was quite evident, and the parents did take their children to doctors and psychiatrists, to see what damage might have been done.
Robidas says, to his knowledge, the couple has not filed a criminal complaint.
What about when the custodian, the parent, or somebody close to the child is also, for whatever reason, unwilling to go ahead and file a complaint?
That's the very difficult case. And those are the cases that, unfortunately, more often than not, result in no investigation or no prosecution, because there's no way of detecting that abuse has occurred.
While Brother Julius preached the gospel, his ex-wife Joanne married his chief apostle, Paul Sweetman. Both Joanne and Paul run the highly successful businesses owned by the cult. This was just one of them, the former home of county-wide construction. By all accounts, Joanne and Paul are highly shrewd business people, building a financial empire, sometimes by illegal means, worth an estimated $20 million. But as one lawsuit alleges, while Joanne and Paul wore expensive furs and lived in luxurious homes, their employees, their followers, barely earned enough money to put food on their tables.
Do you work?
I would rather you ask me, why have I come to Earth at this time? What's my purpose in being on Earth at this time? The other question, I feel, is not necessary to answer at this time.
But people who are watching this might wonder that.
Let them wonder. Wouldn't you like to know why I'm here if I'm God?
Brother Julius didn't want to discuss his finances, and even disgruntled ex-followers claim Julius has little interest in material things. Most of Julius's followers were required to work at one of the businesses run by Paul and Joanne Sweetman.
The issue was that this was supposedly the work of God. This was supposedly a company where God's people would make enough money so that Julius could go public and say that he was God.
Julius's followers actually operated a Century 21 franchise, J.N. North. It's now run by former followers who have severed their connections to Brother Julius. Even Century 21 admits when J.N. North was run by the group, it was one of the most profitable franchises, at one point making $100 million a year in home sales. Former employees say there's an easy explanation for that. If they didn't come up with sales, they faced the wrath of God.